Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, and it's Maya. Thank you so much for all the support. It does mean a lot to me, and thank you so much all the people who subscribed to my channel. I noticed that there was a Mars subscription that happened, I think from my friends and my students. Thank you so much for the support. It's so crazy that you're gonna come here and see all the drama I do this side, but it's okay. If you find something that you can learn, take that up. If you find something that's crazy, please don't take that up. Yes, I love you. So if you want to contact me, please just reach out to me via Instagram or Twitter, and please follow me on Instagram. I want to have about 500 following, or 1000 followers. I lost my old Instagram account and I have a new Instagram account, so please follow me on Anit Nakas or Anit Maya. Don't forget to also follow me on Twitter, and of course sharing my content to have more subscriptions. Yeah, I love people who can subscribe to my channel. And today I am going to be talking about achieving things. This is something very important because I have to make some things clear about what I've achieved. So there are so many people who have achieved things, but the way they've achieved them differs. There are people I've met or I've heard who say that people who don't achieve great things are just lazy. You understand? And for me, that's wrong. It's wrong. There are people who were born with resources. There are people who who were born with all those connections in various fields that run the nation. They have access to the internet, they have what to eat, they have what to drink, they can go anywhere they want, they have private cars, they have all those luxuries in their lives. They are born with those things, and they still say people who don't achieve things in life are just lazy. No. It's a poorly designed experiment for you to compare, a person who is, who grew up, in luxury, and a person who is just, doing their best to achieve what they can, in this crazy world. That's a poorly designed experiment. If a person who was born with resources achieve great things, it doesn't make so much news to me, to be honest with you. And it's actually better for that person to compare themselves with people, from rich families. Yes, we give you credit because you used the resources well and, became successful. But don't assume that you're going to compare yourself with a person who has been struggling all their years, to achieve what they've achieved, and say that, oh yeah, wow, if you compare me with this person, I've achieved a lot. Oh, let me tell you, I will give more credit to that person who has faced all these challenges, a person who was not born with all these resources, but the person who has tried their best to find a way of making it out, than, praising you. I'm telling you, actually for most people, it's automatic that if you're born with luxuries, you're going to become successful unless you were silly or something like that. Of course, life is unpredictable, and the way we handle life is different. People who were born with luxuries also find difficulties in various ways or the other. You understand? But that doesn't take away the fact that life is easier for you in terms of, getting opportunities, having access to various resources, compared to the person who wasn't born like that. And you have to understand that, it's not a choice. Some people always say, oh, living in poverty is a choice. Excuse me. Well, you might be right, but to a very less extent. Nobody, chooses to be born poor. Nobody. If I had a choice, I would say, oh man, no. No. Please, give birth to me in a better resourced environment. But I had no choice. I had to exist anyway. You understand? So if you have achieved things in life, Don't come in public and start saying, I have achieved all this because I do work hard. Those people who can't achieve things are actually lazy. Hey, they are actually doing their best. Yes, there might be some people who are naturally lazy, but most of them are doing their best. Most of them are doing their best to achieve what they are achieving. Exactly. Yeah. And actually you'll be surprised, because some people or some kids who are born with, with all those, resources, in their homes, cannot do the work by themselves. It's not their brains. It's not their brains. You'll be surprised. They always have to go look for somebody who can do something for them. And if they go in a test, you understand, in a test, with a person who has struggled all their lives, that person, can actually do better than them. You understand? You'll find that these people who brag about how much they've achieved, or people who tell that, oh, for you not to achieve things, you're just lazy, you find that, these people cannot do things by themselves. They are some of the dumbest people we do have, on this universe. Yeah. But because they have money, of course, they assume they run the world, which is wrong. Which is wrong. Without people who can do work for them, they can't survive. But for people who, who are born poor, you understand, they do things, and most of the things they've achieved, it's because of their brains and great people who want to see them, excelling. Great network of people they've tried to, to connect to. You understand? So it doesn't really make sense if I see people, coming out in public and saying that if you don't achieve great things, you're just lazy or something like that. Many people are doing their best. They're doing their best. We just have different obstacles or challenges. And our obstacles, get solved in various ways and at varying rates, depending on the resources we do have and the people we know. And if you are poor, it's less likely that you're going to connect to people who have a lot of things you need, to do maybe, whatever you want. But if you're from a rich family, it's likely that you're going to be able to do, whatever you want with less energy or something like that, or less struggles. You understand? So that's what I want to talk about. So if you see me, I've achieved all these things, and I've done a lot of community work. I don't take myself to be that great, because I know there are people who experienced worse than I did, and actually if they had those opportunities, maybe they would have done better than I did. Yeah, or better than I've done. Yeah, that's true. You understand? They would have done better than I did. I was just lucky. You understand? So whatever I've achieved, also, I can't just compare myself, all the connections I do have and all the things I can have access to right now, to a person who is having, having trouble, with their education, tuition and all that, maybe in Ugandan university. I can't compare myself to that person. That's a poorly designed experiment. I can only compare myself to a person who also had, access to the opportunities I had. The person who had, the scholarship I got. I can compare myself with that person, but I cannot compare myself to a student who is struggling here in Uganda, looking for tuition and all that. I just can't. You understand? I was at the university. I had no worries about, tuition and all that. I had stipend. My worries were, completing assignments and making sure that my mental health is fine, and, balancing work and all that, and getting adapting to a new environment, and finding a way of, talking to my family and, being happy. Those were my worries. Understand? But you find that these worries are, tiny compared to a person who is struggling to look for tuition and all that. You understand? So when we are comparing, when we are in public and giving comparisons about how much we've achieved, we shouldn't take that, we shouldn't, just be like, so confident that, oh, we've achieved so much compared to these people. No. The resources you do have, the things that are available to you, are different from what's available to them. If you have chances, if you have access to these, specific things that are very important for education, it doesn't mean that they do have access to those things. And in that way, your struggles are different, totally different. So, any ladies or men out there, if you achieve great things, it's okay. Don't tell us how much you've achieved by comparing yourself with people who didn't have the access to what you were able to access when you were on the journey of achieving what you have so far. Okay, compare yourself with people in your category. Compare yourself with your fellow rich people, with the people who had the the capability to access all the resources at that time. Okay, yeah, don't come up and just say all those things that don't really make so much sense to us. We have to make this world better, and I think by trying to understand things from both sides contributes a lot to making this world better. If you are rich, or if you have achieved a lot, or if you have a lot of resources around you, doesn't mean that you should be unidirectional in terms of seeing the world. Yeah, you have to check what you say. Thank you so much, everybody. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram. Yeah, and don't forget to subscribe. I love you. Bye.